Previously, network monitors have been downloaded to the Windows operating system. Now you have to download it directly from the Microsoft website, which I did, and save it to my desktop as you can see here as a package. The install is quite a simple one. When I start to install, setup will ask if I want to install parsers. This will be installed after I press finish on the last screen on the setup. Once I pass the welcome and license screen, I will be prompted if I want to use Windows Update to keep Network Monitor up to date. If you select the option, use Microsoft Update, Microsoft will then update for check for updates. On the next screen, you can choose what type Windows will do for the installation. In this case, I will select Custom to show you all the different options. On this screen, you can select the components that you want to install. You can see here that there are 3 different components you can install. The first being the program. This is required and can't be switched off. The component update system path will update the system paths so that Network Monitor can be run from the command line from any directory. The last option installs the help files and also some filter files you can use with Network Monitor. Filter files allow you to decide which traffic you want to see in Network Monitor. In most cases, you will want to leave all these options on. The option down the bottom, install this product for all users, determines whether Network Monitor will be available for only this user or for all users. Moving right along, I can choose to create a desktop shortcut, which I will find, and finally install the product. The install is quite fast and does not take long to install. Once the product is installed and I press finish, setup will then install some parsers on the system. Parsers analyze data and then display data if they match a certain criteria. They are simpler. They're simple to filters but are a bit cumbersome. Once Network Monitor is installed, if I now open Windows Explorer and go into the properties for the network, I can then find my network adapter like so. If I now go into the properties for that network adapter, you can see that a driver has been added called Microsoft Network Monitor. In order for Network Monitor to capture data, this network driver must be installed and enabled. This is done by the setup program, and unless someone has changed it, you should be good to go. If I exit out of here and go back to the desktop, I can now run Network Monitor from the desktop. Down the bottom left-hand corner, I can select the network adapters that I want to capture network data from. In this example, you can see 2 network adapters, LAN 1 and LAN 2. I also have the option for ISATAP and Teredo tunneling. If I select my second network, you will also notice that I have the option for the P mode or the parser mode. This stands for promiscuous mode. When promiscuous mode is enabled, Network Monitor will capture data that is not destined for your network card. If you have a wireless network card, however, this will appear as M mode, but essentially does the same thing. Once you have selected which network card or cards you want to monitor on the screen and select options New Capture, this will create a new tab containing the data capture session. To start capturing data, press the button New Capture. In order to have some data to look at, I will open Microsoft Internet Explorer and go to the Microsoft website. If I now open that, the Network Monitor will start capturing that traffic. If I now close Internet Explorer and go back to the Network Monitor, I can stop capturing data by pressing stop. If I now go over to the left-hand side and select my traffic, this will show I selected P mode on one of the network. If I select other traffic, you will notice that this traffic was not destined for this computer, but the network adapter on this computer still received it, however. You can see that there was some DHCP traffic and also some ARP or ARP traffic. Generally, data displayed in here will be broadcast since I'm connected to the network via switch. Under my traffic, you will also notice that the traffic that was generated by Internet Explorer has been separated from the other traffic. Network Monitor automatically separates data from different programs. This makes it a lot easier to analyze the results. However, even from this small capture session, a lot of data has been captured. If you are after something specific and you may want to consider applying a display filter, then Microsoft has supplied a lot of predefined filters for you to use. To select one of these filters, select the option Load Filter. In this case, I will select the DNS filter to show the DNS related data. Once I press apply, all I will see only are DNS related data. IE itself did not created this traffic or any DNS data here. However, if I select my traffic, you can see the DNS data that was generated by this computer or sent to this computer. If I expand unknown, you will notice that that the data is grouped. These are called conversations, and you can see here the IP addresses of the conversation that were involved. IP addresses are difficult to remember, so you may want to use what we term as aliases. To do this, select the pull-down menu aliases on the right side. From here, I can select new aliases and then select the option manage aliases. From here, I can enter the IP address and the name, DNS server 1. I can now then add and exit out of the aliases window. You will notice that if I select the pull down for aliases, that the option for apply has been ticked. Now if I look through the data that has already been captured, this packet has had its source IP address changed to now DNS server 1. In the exam, aliases may be referred to as mnemonic hostnames. You may be thinking, if you are running Network Monitor for long periods of time, the data captured may be quite large and difficult to work with. You could always apply a capture filter after you have finished capturing data, but a better option is to filter the data out as it's coming from the server. To do this, I will create a new capture, this time to set up a capture filter. To this, select the option Capture Settings. Now, if you want to be more specific, you can add IP addresses in the filter. For example, I will enter the IP address of this server and then match it only to DHCP related traffic. To make this filter active, press the button afterwards, Apply. This will also check the filter syntax if you have made any typographical errors. Now, if I select the option Save Filter, I can enter in a name for the filter and save it then. If I now go back and select the option Load Filter, you can see the filter I just created. If it is available, of course. If you have a very busy server, it makes sense to filter out what data that you don't require otherwise. The entire network traffic will be captured, and it's going to be very huge. As you've seen, the network